Tell us a little bit about your experience with height phobia.
I've always had a general fear of heights, but I spent one summer in Europe, traveled all over, and with a teacher from high school, and we went to the White Cliffs of Dover. And if you've never been there, there's really no fence or any barricade or anything at the edge there. You can walk literally right up to points. And he thought it would be very amusing to come up behind me and push me. And I just about leaped out of my skin. Now, he grabbed a hold of me before, obviously, I fell, but ever since then, I mean, it was just forget it. I don't want it anywhere near the edge of anything. When I come close to the edge of something, I can stand back here or at the edge of the balcony here and be fine. But if I come close, I literally feel like I'm going to fall off and almost throw myself off. It's like I can't stop that feeling. It's awful. So that's kind of where it came from. Really got cemented there.
Yeah. So what we're going to do first, and the audience won't really be able to participate in this piece of it, is that we're just going to, with the camera, step outside to the balcony, and you're just going to describe to us what you feel as you get closer to the edge without pushing yourself beyond a level of more discomfort than you want to tolerate. Okay? So we're going to just step out. And just describe what you're feeling.
I feel like I'm literally going to tip forward.
Right.
Just fall over.
Okay.
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
I just,
yes.
it's
So
I don't want to look
that's
up close to
plenty.
my
So
eyes.
just back off now at a comfortable way. Turn around.
Okay.
Yeah. Just turn around. Go back in now.
Okay.
The session lasted approximately 30 minutes. At that point, Nancy stepped onto the balcony again. So would you like to step out onto the balcony?
I would.
Just stay within your comfort zone again.
Okay.
You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. Just within your comfort zone.
Okay.
Tell us what you feel as you look over.
It feels fabulous. It feels absolutely fabulous. It's gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
Yeah. Great.
Gone.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go in and tell the folks.
The helicopter went over while I was out there.
So,
Oh, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
the session that led to this resolution of Nancy's phobia took less than half an hour. It used a typical energy psychology sequence. Longer excerpts, as well as the full video, are available elsewhere. For this presentation, the various procedures will only be mentioned. First, several physical exercises were used that balanced the body's energies for flow and harmony. This was followed by an exploration of any resistance in Nancy's energy system or outside her awareness to overcoming her phobia. Energy tests were paired with a series of statements. Okay, so I want to get over my fear of heights.
I want to get over my fear of heights.
No disagreement at all. I deserve to get over my fear of heights.
I deserve to get over my fear of heights.
I will get over my fear of heights.
I will get over my fear of heights.
So it's harder for her body to believe that statement, and maybe her mind as well. Some resistance was identified and addressed by stimulating specific energy points. After the general balancing and addressing the resistance, Nancy rated her distress when she would think of facing a height on a scale of 0 to 10.
It's a 10.
It's a 10, yeah.
It's
So
a
it looked
10.
like a 10, didn't it?
It's a 10.
A reminder phrase was established to keep the phobia psychologically and energetically active during the tapping treatment. The treatment consisted of tapping a series of acupuncture points about 7 times each. This was followed by a procedure designed to synchronize right and left brain functioning, and then another round of tapping. At this point, Nancy again rated her distress when thinking of facing a height.
I'd say somewhere around a 6.
It's down to a 6 from a 10. Okay.
I don't feel that pulling forward.
You don't feel that pulling forward.
Yeah.
That's a
The
really...
The entire sequence was repeated.
A third rating was given.
2.
Down to a 2. We're going to take one more round and see what happens. It might bring it down a little. It might stay at 2. 2 is not a bad place for it to be. But we'll see what happens. We can go inside and imagine that you're coming up to the edge there, and
It's gone.
it's gone. Okay.
Gone.
Okay, good. No, we're not done yet. But it's great that it's gone. Okay? One of the things that, just gonna let that absorb.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's going to translate out.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
At this point, one of the aspects of the problem was addressed, which was the memory of being pushed by her high school teacher while overlooking the cliff.
One of the aspects to this problem is the memory she described of the high school teacher pushing you, okay? Because that's tied in with this. And so we didn't start there. We started with what the experience was, but now we want to neutralize that one, okay? And so go into that memory right now and give it a rating from 0 to 10 of the amount of distress it causes you right now.
11.
It's right up there. It's really a tough one.
It was
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, okay.
Then, any resistance to resolving the trauma from that memory was explored.
I deserve to have no more trauma about that memory.
I deserve to have no more trauma about that memory.
He deserves for me to get over this memory.
He deserves for me to get over this memory.
He doesn't. So it's interesting how that gets tied in there. That there's a way that it sort of punishes him in some, great cosmic scheme.
Exactly.
That it really continues to hurt you.
This was resolved with an energetic intervention paired with an affirmation. Another tapping sequence followed. The distress brought on by the memory was again rated.
Give it a rating to the amount of stress it causes in your body right now.
Feels like it's a long time ago.
Feels like it's a long time ago, yes.
Yeah. Maybe a 2.
Maybe a 2. Okay.
It feels like a long time ago.
Next was the positive outcome procedure. Once the distress has been reduced to 2 or less, the client can be instructed to envision being in the situation that had evoked the problematic emotional response, but this time to imagine having an ideal response. A similar tapping series is used along with a visualization and an affirmation. After the sequence, Nancy rated how believable it was to her that she could face a height and have the desired response.
Now, imagine that situation again and rate it in terms of how believable it is to you.
10 being
10 being
very believable.
Very believable.
I'd say an 8.
It's an 8.
I would say an 8.
Okay.
8 to a 9.
8 to a 9.
It was at this point that Nancy was invited to walk out onto the balcony again, as shown earlier. 3 days later,
The last full day of the workshop, a follow-up interview was arranged. The balcony shown earlier was on the 4th floor of the hotel. Arrangements were made for the follow-up interview to be in a penthouse suite on the 17th, the top floor.
It's beautiful up here, and I'm fine. I can see almost all of Miami. It is absolutely wonderful. No fear.
So Nancy, here we are at another energy healing workshop in Miami. It's 2.5 years since your phobia treatment.
Yeah.
Today is November 16th, 2004. And tell us what's happened in these last 2.5 years around your relationship to heights.
It has been an amazing experience. It has absolutely helped. What I started to realize in my life, though, was that the fear, it tapped into a generalized fear in me. It's hard to describe, except that things that I might not otherwise tackle, I did because I realized I could tackle that height phobia. The final thing, which has been so cool, just this past June of 2004, my husband and I went to Cork in Ireland, and we went to Blarney Castle, and we went over to the Dingle Peninsula, which is on the western half and has cliffs very similar to the White Cliffs, which is where, of course, all of this started. And no fencing, no nothing, and I stood there and enjoyed the scenery and enjoyed the water, and it was no problem whatsoever. And so then I went to Blarney Castle and decided I'm going to do this, and I climbed all the way to the top, and I bent over and I kissed that stone, and it was fantastic. So it has absolutely held. I recommend it highly. I appreciate it, and thank you.